What's up, everybody? This is Real with Ryan, where I have real conversations with real people to help you get to know the real you. And today I have Victoria, and she has her own channel called Prosperity Talks. Make sure y'all go check her out.
Hi, everybody.
But today we're going to be talking about how to work on yourself. And we're going to base it off this quote right here. And it's, you can't truly love yourself if you don't know yourself. And you can't know yourself if you don't spend time with yourself. And that's why Ed Miley, I be watching him. Y'all shout out him. But when I first heard that, I was like, wow, that's something I kind of like live by. And I didn't even know it, you know?
That's a mantra. Bro.
Yeah. It's like, if you don't take the time to really love yourself, get to know yourself, be patient with yourself, how do you expect to even get that to somebody else? How do you expect to even get that from somebody else if you don't even know who you are to get it, you know? Yeah. So what does that quote mean to you?
What I get from that quote, that's such a really like strong, beautiful quote. I love that. Because at the center of everything is knowledge. Like it's how much you know, it's the people you know, it's how you move about life with what you know. Like knowledge is power, knowledge is key. So knowing yourself is like breaking the code. Right. Like, it all starts with you. You get yourself as far as you know how to get yourself. So it's really such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful quote. There's many different ways to tap in with that inner knowledge. I think I get the most from that. Tapping in with yourself, loving yourself, knowing yourself starts the moment that you start wanting more. Like if you feel stuck in life, I think that's the best time to really go within because you can't move really until you're ready to move. A lot of people don't realize that. Like you got to go back to move forward sometimes.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, it's really like we do it subconsciously. We hold ourselves back. So the more you know yourself, the further you can go because you know what's holding you back.
Yeah.
So that's something that I think I get from that is just self-reflection.
What I think when you say go back, I'm thinking you're talking about go back and see how you did things, see what you were thinking, going back on certain situations and reflecting on that, not sitting in them, reflecting on them. Because I feel like that's where a lot of people mess up. Then from sitting in it, you become like you feeling guilty, you feeling unmotivated. So you don't need to do all that. There's no reason for that.
It already happened. Moment already happened.
Right. You just gotta know what you did, know, and then know how to do better. You know, that's what comes with reflecting and stuff. So I'm gonna say a few little things on how I began to work on myself. What are some things I still do today? And then I'll let you go just to share. Okay. So recently I started doing mirror talks. And with that, it's like, I spoke on it in my last one. I'm just sitting in front of a mirror and I'm talking to myself. I'm like, okay, Ryan, how are you feeling right now? Like, what do you think? Why do you think you're feeling like this? Okay, so what do you think will make it better? What do you think will like continue to make this better? Not just like a temporary fix, you know?
Yeah.
So I also do like self-affirmations and like reassuring myself in a way. Saying I am loved to myself. You are worthy of being loved. Like you're gonna do this, like with my podcast where I had wrote on a piece of paper, Real with Ryan podcast, and it was on my door for months. And like, look at where we are right now. So it's like still like you're just saying I'm gonna be good. Like I was also saying how the stuff I was doing was gonna turn out good. Hey, I'm gonna be where I need to be. I'm gonna be around the people I need to be.
Yeah. I love that mindset.
Trying to think of what else I was doing. Meditation. Like working on yourself, you also have to be comfortable with being alone in your peace. It's like if you can't be comfortable with being alone, I don't know. I think it's kind of weird to think how somebody else is going to be
detrimental to your growth, not being able to.
Yeah. But you expect somebody else to be comfortable in your peace and it's
being
like,
with you,
you got to learn how to do that. You got to realize, okay,
that's a good point.
I got to work on myself, right? So who am I for real? How do I come off? Why do I think like this? What did I go through that made me like this? You know, I pray a lot. Yeah.
Number one, that's
Right,
guy.
right.
Yeah, I can't skip over that.
And I started kind of taking care of myself.
At work.
So when I'm feeling like, remember I said my mood is off, I started doing like little things that would make me happy that I didn't even know. So the other day, my mood was off. I started watching poetry, man, and I was just chilling. Yes, and you know we still gotta go to a poetry class. But yeah, it's like it does. It gives you different perspective watching poetry. It just makes you feel good. But yeah, so what are some things that you do that you try and work on yourself?
Yeah, all of those things are such great ways to ground yourself. Like all of those that you just said is just like grounding techniques. Getting you out of your emotions,
right?
Passionate, just sadness, happiness, everything that you're feeling, just giving you a break to just go to your mind and really structure yourself inside. But some things that I do is it started with journaling. So journaling is a great way to express yourself. I do music, and songwriting for me was so healing growing up, because whether I knew it or not, I was actually giving myself future advice. Like through my songs, I went back and would listen to them and just be like, I was so young, but somehow I needed this like now. And that's just something people don't realize, is if you really got it out, you could be inspired by it later. Like just get your emotions out, put it on paper, and that's a great way to turn your pain into something that's like beautiful. It changes the narrative around what you've gone through. It changes it in your eyes, in the eyes of people around you, and it's a good practice.
Yeah.
Just how are you talking about yourself and the things that you've gone through, your mistakes, and your future? How do you talk about it? What words do you use?
Yeah.
Like, I'm very strong on being smart with what you use your tongue for. Like, there's life and death. I believe in the power of the tongue.
When you said that, it made me think of the word intentional. Like
yes, being very intentional with what you say, essentially.
I like that. I've learned to do that too recently. Another thing I do is, back to what you said, kind of about the journaling, I write letters to myself.
Yes, that's such a great practice.
Yeah, my homegirl put me on today, and once I started doing it, I felt so much better. Yeah. Like, I was writing to my future self, and I was telling my future self, okay, this is how I'm feeling right now. This is where I hope to be in like this amount of time. I do it about every 2 weeks. Yeah. Whenever I remember to do it, I'll be on it. That's and it really does help. Yeah. It's crazy. So back to what I was saying about like just like with the poetry thing that I said I do. Finding things that make you happy is so important. And I'm not talking about just being on social media, like you chilling, like on your phone. I'm not talking about that. Like, what are some things that make you truly happy? You really got to evaluate that, because what's going to happen when social media, like you just...
Yeah, you got to have... Right. Plan, fallback, know what you love. Like, literally. If you don't know what you love, you're going to love everything. People can give you anything. Like, people could give you anything and you'd be like, oh, no. But it's like you just haven't figured out exactly where you're supposed to be putting your love towards.
Like, I like that.
It's definitely a learning process. Okay. But you get to it through those techniques: praying, journaling, meditating, mirror talk, zooming out. I believe we mentioned on the previous episode, just different methods of tapping in with what is going on inside of you versus outside.
Right. Yeah. So I have a few homegirls that I was trying to get them to do that. But they're always like, Ryan, I tried this, I tried that. When you really sit alone and meditate, you're going to be able to figure out what works for you. But it's not going to be the first time. It's going to be when you get in tune with yourself. Because when you're watching your breath, when you're paying attention and like just being alone, right.
It don't always happen.
It don't, like you're just learning how to do it for real. Yeah. But there's no right way to do it either. But it's just you. But you just you gotta trust the process, and you're gonna figure it out. It's gonna come. But another thing that I learned probably within this year, and I got a lot of what's the word? Good like feedback, not feedback, but it just showed in my life that it helped. So celebrating your accomplishments, big and small. Man, that goes with gratitude too. I mean, I had a whole
Gratitude,
video
guys.
like
Gratitude.
yeah. So, and we could get on to like what does that look like? How do you do that? But celebrating your accomplishments, like if you don't do it, who will? Like as simple as that. If you don't do it, who will? You have to show up for yourself. You got to show up for yourself, especially when you know you need it. Nobody know you better than you, so you know how long it took you to do this. You know what you done been through in the past to even get to where you at. So to celebrate that's big.
Yeah,
that's big.
That's huge.
So what do you think that could look like for somebody to celebrate their accomplishments? Like, how do you do that?
Okay, so that is very key. Like it ties in with affirmations, just telling yourself, I am this, I'm worthy of these things.
Yeah.
And then recognizing the result of you being that way. Like if I say I'm confident, I celebrate whenever I go out and I talk to people and I, network and I connect with people.
Right.
I celebrate those moments because I'm living up to the expectations that I set for myself. When you live up to an expectation that you set, your standard, then you get a prize. Reward yourself. Like when you do good, you want to be able to do good even when it doesn't look like other people can't tell you did good. Like you got to be able to tell yourself. Like period. There's no other words to that.
When you said that, it made me think of like you have to be able to get your own validation from yourself.
Own validation, yes. Self-validation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Another thing that I've learned recently. Oh, this is so big. You got something to say?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just want to backtrack a little bit just to where we said rewarding yourself. Because if you really think about it, growing up, babies to children, to toddlers, to children, to teenagers, we get praised all the time.
Yeah.
And then you get to high school and you get to college and it stops. And it's like we owe it to ourselves.
Now that you say that,
to start doing that again. Because it's like we just cold turkey stop saying when we do something good. Right. And it's like, but if that was my kid, I would praise him for being able to get over his emotions or his or her emotions and just really, really being there for the inner child that we all have. We were all kids. You deserve to kind of go back and heal a little bit of what we've gone through.
I'm so glad you said that. I don't think I've never thought about that before. You got to be really observant. Yeah. But I feel like that's a big contribution to depression. Because you get cold turkey. You get used to being praised and celebrated, and then you don't get that. So it's kind of like, dang, am I even doing this right? Dang, they don't see this. I don't see this.
And you didn't even ask.
Exactly. I'm glad you said that.
To be set up that way. Nobody asked to have people from kids to now to like be structuring them like that. But it's something we all grew up like. It just structured that way.
Yeah. So back to what I was saying about like what I learned recently, probably in this last year or two, learning how to receive love and how to receive love, and also learning how to receive love from yourself. I've always known how to receive love from myself, but receiving love from other people is like, but that goes with being vulnerable. So how do you think, explain how important that is, and how would somebody go and do that?
How important it is to, I'll start with how you can do it.
Okay.
So like how you could really go back and remind me of what you said again one more time so I can.
Oh, no, you're good. So learning how to receive love and also learning how to receive love from yourself.
Receive love from yourself. Okay. I was the same way. Like, I think that's the first thought that came to mind was like, I'm like that. Where it was so easy for me to be like, I know what I offer. I know what I give people. I know that I'm stable. I know I'm supportive. I know I'm this. I know I'm that. But when other people wanted to come in and be like, can I get a little bit closer to you? You like it? And it's like, oh, no, I want you to get everything.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't come to me asking, can you be there for me? Like,
and I feel like a big reason I was like that and other people is because you scared. You scared of when that could stop. You scared of what they could see if they doing it. It's like because you just don't want to see your flaws or whatever.
Self-sabotage.
Yeah, self-sabotage. Y'all, it's okay. It's okay to get close to people. It's okay to let them in. Just you got to do it. You got to do it.
And you learn from it.
Right. And it's showing you that you are worthy of being loved when you let somebody do that. You
never know, because that's another thing. A lot of people think that they know themselves until they get around other people and they have to see themselves in real time, like being who they claim to be.
Yeah.
Like, are you really who you say you are when it comes time to be that? Like, you could really say that.
That's a big thing. I think how I learned how to do it was we were talking about this in the car before. Like on some inner child work, I would go back into like the first time I probably felt like really sad when I was a kid. And I think of my older self, my present self, and I'd go back in there and I would talk to my younger self like, hey, it's okay. Like, you're gonna be okay. You're worth this. You're worth being loved.
Literally.
And so after that, bro, I started crying. Like
it's
in
so
that moment, it is. And so then it folded over to me being able to receive love. Like I'm the person that I want to do it for other people. Like it's any way that I can help somebody make it easier, even day-to-day stuff, I'm gonna do it. So with that, it helped me like step back, let people do stuff for me, let people see me the way I see them. Exactly. And it feel good. It feel good.
Yeah, that give and take, I think we had talked about before. Like, you don't want to overextend yourself to the point that you're not seeing the same effects of your love and joy in your own life. Like that's just that depletion of your own love is just, it's not a healthy state to be in. So it's very good to have that talk with your younger self to be like, I can raise my standards. Like, I've really been through a lot. Like, I deserve to kind of have better things than what I've gotten before. Like, and I'm worthy of it, point blank period, just because I exist.
Right.
Like, you really have to stop basing a lot of things that say you're worthy of this. If you have this makes you worthy. Like, let go of all of that.
I'm glad you said that.
On my own, worthy. And you just get that in your head.
All right. Because another thing I want to talk about is when you start looking at yourself in a different light, you start wanting more for yourself.
Yeah.
It's so crazy how you'll just hold yourself to a different bar. Like, I did this because I know I'm capable of this. Now I want to aim for this. I want to.
You raise your standards.
Right, you do for yourself. And that's a big thing to do because you'll start attracting people who are kind of on the level that you're on, or
people that also think like that.
Yeah, who just know their worth in a way. And it's so crazy how people used to preach to us, know your worth, know how to work on yourself. Self-love is important, but they ain't really give us how do I do that? You had to figure that out yourself.
It's so personal.
But that's the cool part, though. That's the cool part. It's such a
personal journey. It makes someone them.
Yeah. So how do you think that you learn how to see yourself in a different light? And I feel like your confidence is up here and mine is too. So I'm really curious how you
I love that we also use similar techniques because I see a lot of what I did, it kind of intermingles. There's so many beautiful, helpful, simple ways to just tap in with yourself and to build that self-confidence. And it was a journey. Growing up as kids, there's highs and lows. And sometimes it's so easy to define ourselves growing up by the lows, growing up, because we're so vulnerable. We don't know how to latch on to the good just yet because the bad hurts so bad. You don't know enough good to be this bad isn't bad enough to where I'm hurt at. You're a kid, everything hurts. So it's building that self-confidence. I did a lot of the child affirmation things where you go back to your childhood and just address things.
Sometimes that can be so hard.
It is hard. It's hard, but it's also done out of love. That's the greatest form of love, to go back to yourself and look at yourself in those photos and be like, I'm no longer going to hurt myself just because of what I've been through. Like, I can grow up, and I see that little girl in that photo is like me. I can take those steps to get that little girl where me, same person, wants to go. Like, it's just, you gotta merge and sort of just acceptance. Like, that's a strong thing that I had to work on, was accepting what I'd been through and accepting better.
Yeah.
Like, just
and I just feel like it's a different type of acceptance. It's a more like, I don't know. It's like accepting what you've been through and loving what you've been through, because you are who you are today, and loving who you're going to become. So it's like you're
attributing positive to not only your past, but your present and your future.
Yeah.
So that's a really strong thing to do, is like how you talk about what you've been through, how you talk about where you are, and how you talk about where you want to go really matters. Because if it's aligned, you're going to see a lot more positive in life.
Right.
Versus if you're talking bad about what you've been through, talking bad about where you are, and talking bad about where you want to go, it's not the best equation, you know? It really is. What are you contribute, your emotions contribute a lot to your progress. Like, if you're emotionally like beating yourself up, you're emotionally going to be bruised and battered for however long it takes for you to heal, because you did that to yourself.
And I like how you said with attracting positive in your life, because when you said that, it made me think about people.
Yeah.
So it's like when you're working on yourself and you're trying to get somewhere, you're going to attract the right people to you. And it's a lot. It's like people our age, they're more attracted to the people that, not to say this is wrong. Not to say this is wrong, but it's like, where's this going to get you at? The people that you could talk about people with, the people that you could just have fun with for like at a party. Yeah. But it's like, you got to really be careful who you surrounding yourself with, because their energy rubs off. Like, you're going to pick up on some habits that they do, but you really got to be careful about who you surround yourself with. And that's so important. When you start working on yourself, you're going to know who's for you. It's going to already happen, because you're moving in a positive direction. So everything's going to happen for a reason. You're going to see it.
Yeah. And when that's something really strong too, setting intentions. Like, if you intend on having a positive future, it's so much easier to recognize when something's not leading you there, because you have a set intention of where you want to go. A lot of people haven't, like, I call it like world building. Like, they haven't built up their world enough to see like where they want to go. Like, it's very limited. So it's like you're in a house, but you kind of want to get out into the world when it comes to mindsets. So build your world, add things from different places, and build your self-confidence so that you can go out and trust that when you're seeking positive will come to you, because that's your intention. You can recognize when you're not doing things right.
Yeah.
You kind of set a bar.
Yeah, I agree. Also, another thing when you're working on yourself is very important to be okay with like growing out of people. Like, it's okay to grow from each other. It's okay to leave old habits in the past. It's okay to like new things that you didn't like before. It's okay. People gonna grow apart. And it's like when you have somebody that you used to be cool with back in the day, and you trying to do this, you're gradually gonna, and it's okay to leave. It's okay. It's nothing against them. You can still talk to them here and there. But as far as putting yourself around them, giving your energy to them, having deep talks with them about listening to their hurt, listening to their pain, it's like, that's when you start playing with your progress. You don't want to do that.
Nothing wrong with that too.
Yeah.
That's forgiveness too of yourself, like, or having grace for yourself rather. Like, that's done out of love. Like, the ultimate form of self-love and protection is making sure that you're okay.
Yeah.
Like your safety is just everything.
Yeah.
It's how safe you feel. If somebody's not really working towards making you feel safe, secure, loved, peaceful, whatever you describe your ideal resting state to be, my resting state is like peace. I'm not stressed. I'm not
Right.
worried about anything. Like my mind is clear. Like I'm really just zoned.
Because when your mind clear, that's when you can receive things and stick.
Yes. So you know, I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, it's really like you want to be around people that allow you to do that because they'll probably, if they're on the same wave, they'll want that for themselves too.
Yeah.
They'll be like, you get to do that, I get to do it. It works. We got our time apart. But there's a fine line when it comes to how much energy someone's like,
I'm
kind of giving you. It's really like it's a learning process, but it's done out of love.
Yeah.
And it's the ultimate form of protection.
I agree with you.
Protecting that inner child.
To leave it off, I'll just say what I did initially. So I had wrote down traits of like how I was as a person, and then I wrote down another list. I have another list of how I wanted to be, and then with that, I wrote some things down on how I was going to get to that. So like we're procrastinating. I wrote down whenever I see something needs to be done, instead of being like I'll do it later, I did it right this second, and I eventually got better at that. But if you want to lead them off with something they could do, like just to start off with.
I can honestly close out by just addressing what you just said and about
like with the writing thing. With the writing things down. Yeah.
I think I called it world building earlier, but it's, to me, I want it to be known as destination building.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So it's like building your destination. I wrote it down. It came out as world building, but it's destination building where you're building what you see your destination as, and it helps you like stay on the path.
Yeah.
It literally just helps you focus. Like, in working on yourself, using those different techniques allows you to enhance your focus. It allows you to enhance your dedication to the world that you literally built yourself. You came up with that.
That's so
it's
big.
Up to you to hold yourself to it.
It is so big.
Yeah.
But yeah, y'all, this is Victoria. Make sure y'all go check her channel out. And make sure you leave in the comments how you're going to try this week to work on yourself. What are some things that you're going to take away from this video and you're going to apply to your life? Yeah. All right. Thank you. It's Real with Rhyan.